Hey, yo, this nigga right here, it's one of the niggas that was there, you know, when I was, you know, young in the trenches, you understand? And, you know, it's one of the niggas that I can vouch for, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure he feel the same about me, so when we hear each other, we relate to it. Because we know we come from a certain place. We know we was really doing certain things. This ain't just some rap shit, you know what I'm saying? We don't just put words together. We put birds together, nigga. Yo, talk to him for a second.
GREA8GAWD Fairgrounds.
Welcome back, everybody. Another Tuesday episode on Trials and Tribulations. We got another special guest. We got KP here. This podcast is designed, you know, to dive into people's stories and all about their lives and touch bases on their struggles and their success. You know what I mean? Because everyone has a unique story. Everyone has a unique, you know what I mean, genre of relations to people's lives. You know what I mean? So we like to dive into the stories and try to get really, really into them. You know, so we got the special guest today. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this box right here. You know what I mean? It's the God himself. Introduce yourself.
It's the one and only Great God, man. GREA8GAWD, Great God in the building. You know, a lot of people probably not familiar. You said, you know, they not. They just talking like they familiar. They not familiar with that.
Well, they better get familiar.
Word.
So like I said, this podcast is designed to dive into people's life stories.
Got you.
So where are you originally from?
Originally, I'm from the Midwest. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Went to school in Des Moines, Iowa, DMI, 515, Waterloo, Iowa. My mother's whole side is from the Midwest, and then my father's side is from New York. So, you know, I would go back and forth to New York to visit my pops, and then, you know, but my mother and all of them is from the Midwest and from Mississippi. So, you know, I've been all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I lived in Rochester, Syracuse, Brownsville. I came from upstate, from up top from Brownsville. So, you know, Brownsville is where I got knowledge of self, where I, you know, got a lot of my roots and my daily lessons and my daily things that I, you know, abide by to this day, my daily life. So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people get a misconstrued. They be like, yo, I thought you said you was born in New York, in Brooklyn. I'm like, nah, when I say I was born, I mean I got my lessons there. You know what I mean? I came into knowledge of self there. But yeah, originally from the Midwest, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
515.
You talked about, you know what I mean, the split relationship that you had, that you faced, you know what I mean? Did you, as a child, how did that impact you?
So what happened is, I was a mischievous little motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, I was always into something. I was always into some bullshit. So when I would go to New York, I could do what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Mom Dukes was way more strict. So I would always try to, you know, dip off and run away and go stay with my aunt Ernestine. You know what I'm saying? That was my favorite auntie. I would go stay with her.
She let you get away?
Yeah, she'd let me get away with the foolery. Just a little bit. But not a lot of foolery, but a lot more than I could get away with at the crib. You know what I'm saying? So, but just that whole dynamic was obviously you going from if you going from Iowa to living in New York, it's
That's
different.
a big transition.
You know what I'm saying? It's a big jump. Not to say that Iowa is no, it's not what people think it is. They ain't shucking. They are shucking corn, actually. But the ghetto is the ghetto everywhere you go.
It's a fact.
It was cats around there getting money, a lot of money. We was getting fly, putting that polo on, that heel figure on, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? It's the same everywhere you go, but Brownsville is something different. You know what I'm saying? Brownsville is a different animal altogether because it ain't no borough like Brownsville. I lived in Harlem too, so it ain't nothing like 308 Sutter Ave. You understand? In the heart of the Ville. Yeah, that's a whole different dynamic in itself. So, you know what I'm saying? But for me, it was just like I always wanted to explore, son. I want to get out and do shit I have no business doing. And that's how I ended up upstate and doing some shit I have no business doing. My main man, Shiggity, you know what I'm saying? My man, G in Rochester. We was in the Rock, And then my man came into a whole bunch of bread and he moved to Syracuse, right? So mind you, I'm on Jeff and Main, Red Building, Rochester. We getting to it. Me and my man G. This one, it was a KFC across the street for those that was getting some money, and the Hardy houses was to my left. I had a gate in both buildings. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So we was up and down. Shout out to my man C. And my man Milt, you know what I'm saying? He was running that traffic like it was a then we needed a stoplight at the gate. You understand what I'm saying?
There was no red lights?
Nah, me, G, Dre, you know what I'm saying? You know, it was, you know, we had it. We was in Rochester getting to it when you could really get to it. You know what I'm saying? Then we moved on Union. But anyway, my man Big Sean, he came into a lot of bread. He moved to the Q's. So he went to the Q's, he got it rocking how we had it rocking in the Rock, right? Yeah. Next thing I know, son, like, yo, son, he up there taking champagne baths. And like, I never even seen a nigga like him. You feel me? Like, nah, Sean Shiggity is different. He taking champagne, I'm talking about, and pouring them in the tub.
You heard? Make your skin soft.
I'm talking about ill shit. So Shiggity was like, man, he was up there with Donovan McNabb was there. The Q's at the time he was there. They was all looking up to him. He had the big 5, the big Beamer, and he was like, yo, nah, I done got all the money I want up here. You can have that shit. And I said, oh, word? I said, what's going on up there? You know, he like, yo, this shit's like 100 a gram up here. I'm like, oh, okay. Is that right? And you know what I'm saying? And we went up there, like I said, doing some shit we had no business doing. And, you know, hopefully, you know, gladly we got out of that shit unscathed. You feel me?
There we go, yeah.
And we turned the positive into the negative, you know, a negative into a positive, and we run around selling bricks legally now. Music birds.
So now I heard you touch base and say you went up top there. You know what I mean? What was that like for you? You know what I mean? I know we all have our, you know what I mean? Because me personally, I've been there before, and you know what I mean? It was one of those, it was at first it wasn't a life changer that really set in on me. I was one of those youths that was real arrogant, you know. I was mischievous.
Oh, so you had that arrogance too.
Yeah. How can you touch on that topic? You know what I mean? Expose it, that because you're a positive asset. You know what I mean? Right now, and you're trying to teach these youth that the game is not really the game.
No, nah.
So how can you elaborate on that? Like,
don't even like, by no stretch of the imagination is. None of this stuff that we show them, none of this stuff that we tell them, this shit ain't real, bro. You go upstate and you go up top and you do some time, and your man's supposed to take your girl to bread. He's trying to fuck her. You understand what I'm saying? He's not trying. He might don't even take the bread. You might be locked up for a dime. He might show up 3 times. You understand what I'm saying? That's the harsh reality, and that's the real reality of what's going on in these streets. So, you know, in my music, I try to give them the pros and the cons. Well, I do give them the pros and the cons because I done been on both sides of the fence. You understand? So I know and understand that, nah, that ain't how it go. You know what I'm saying? When you locked up, I was on Rikers Island. Ain't nobody come and see me. And that was, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't never want to go back to Rikers Island. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, what we show them in movies, what we let them hear in records is really misleading. So I try and I strive not to do too much of that. Or like I said, I give the pros and the cons, because some of us just give the glamour and the glitz. Some of us got these young guys feeling like they could get an 8-ball and the next week they got 5 birds without no jaw breaking, without nobody robbing them, without nobody kidnapping your little sister, without the plug beating you. You understand what I'm saying? Without you ever buying a dummy brick. You don't hear none of that shit when these dudes.
That's the whole purpose of this pod.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
To expose some of that stuff.
Yeah, you don't never hear none of that. All you hear is, oh, I had all this money and I had this and that and I did this and that and I got the jewelry and I got the cars and all that, but nobody talk about the mothers that suffer when you went to jail, and now she running around trying to put $60 on the phone every other day.
Because you burning them clicks.
Because you clicking. You burning through 3 clicks on the VI.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? If you could do that on the VI, because everybody can't even use the horn.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk, you know what I'm saying? So that's the things that they don't talk about, is that a lot of y'all probably couldn't even get on the phone in the jail.
You're absolutely correct.
So you don't want to be going to jail, you know what I'm saying, and not really had no knowledge of what's going on. And these young brothers that's running around now, they don't have no knowledge because they anti-adult. They don't want to listen to nobody that's over 20 years old.
You got to live and learn it.
So they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? So, and if you're not listening to no older heads, then you doomed in this world, because who you gonna get your knowledge from? Who you gonna learn from? I was the type God that I stayed around older cats, and I'm talking about 20 years older than me. That's where I learned my Jews from.
Yeah,
and that's why when everybody else was beating the fiends up because they were short, I was trying to figure out how they got in this position. You understand?
And they still coming back because they're sick.
And you still coming back, and you running around. The fiend is the real hustler, because he running around every day. He coming with $100, $200. He might come back every other hour. You might go through a whole big in bags, messing with 3-4 fiends. So, that's a whole different life that I wouldn't even suggest putting that on in nobody's radar that ain't really have to do that. Like if you're backing against the wall, that ain't nothing that you want to be doing, man. Like I see brothers that jump in the game late and they just jump in the game just because they got a little bread and they want to flip the money, and that's why you get caught up, because you don't really have no real knowledge or understanding of how the streets really work. You don't really understand the dynamics of the game.
They just sitting there. They just present.
Right, and understanding the dynamics and the detail. Everything is in the details. So if you don't know the details of that, the ins and outs of that, shit.
I mean, people, just so you guys know, prison is a living death. You know what I mean? People, you get there. I like to tell people in this fashion that when you go there, it's just like a natural death. When somebody dies, it hurts real bad. You know what I mean? The tears are so abundant right there. Right. But as time passes, those tears dimmer down. That's just like prison. You know what I mean? Like you said, you can do a lot of time and all your people are there for you. But really, you in a vacant cell that with nobody coming to see you. So you really dead.
Right.
But you alive, you know what I mean?
You're alive, but you feel like you might as well be dead. And that's why a lot of cats end up hanging it up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because they ain't built mentally.
They not mentally strong enough to even, to deal with what they got to deal with in there, man. And if you're not strong, boy, you're going to succumb to some atrocities that I couldn't even possibly explain.
Even if they do go there, they still have the opportunity. There's still the programs there, you know what I mean, that they can take advantage of. Take advantage of those, because those ratios that they give of your chances of coming back, those are actual facts. Because when you come out here, you got a whole different ball game that you can play. You know what I mean? Right. It's up to each one of us.
Shout out to my man Louis Vuitton, man. He been locked up for like 21 years now, and he ain't never had a ticket in prison. You understand what? Like never been in a fight, and they never got cut. They never. That's how you go in bed.
Just militant.
And they still hitting them at the board. See, and they letting cats go that's catching bodies in jail, cutting and stabbing. So shout out to a strong brother like Louis, because Armand Perry, he did his whole, he really know how to bid. He really did his joint, and he ain't scarred up, and he ain't into the mix. And you can go in there and, like you said, get your degrees and get in these programs and try your hardest to turn that negative into a positive. But you go in there with the foolery, that's what you're gonna get. It's gonna be a bad bid. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to all the ones, you know what I mean? Shout out to the ones that are really keeping official, you know what I mean? Yeah. Make it home safely. Make it home safely, you know? Yeah,
get home. Yeah.
There's a lot more bigger fish out here to fry than anything, you know what I mean? You can't really bust doggies like you do out here, you know what I mean? Right. On a positive level.
Nah, not at all.
So what would you say? You only did one bid?
So I didn't never do no whole bit. I just did little times here and there on the island. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I never, when I was referring to up top, when I say up top, I mean upstate New York.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like Rikers Island, it only took for me to go to the island one time where I said, oh God, okay, yeah, this ain't for me.
This right there. That's gladiator school right there. That's one of the. That's like top 10 prison in the world.
And when I went, like the Tombs was already enough. You know what I'm saying? But going to the island is different. So yeah, I'm not a jail, but I'm smarter than the average bear. Put it like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to glorify, but I just, I'm just very coherent. I'm very alert. I'm a thinker. You understand? And I'm just always watching and I'm always assessing. I'm a great judge of character. So a lot of the shit that people get themselves into, I wouldn't even be around the person that you was around, that you got yourself into that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like they couldn't have paid me to be around. So, all of that matters. Plus, I never drank in my life. I never had a sip of nothing. I never smoked a cigarette. I never got high a day in my life. So I'm extra on point.
That's
The life that I lived and the things that I did, you have to be on point. You got to be tack sharp to do the things that I was outside doing. So,
how can you elaborate on your discipline on that? Where does that come from?
So that discipline really came from not having knowledge of self, 5% Nation. You know what I'm saying? My uncles, dealing with Islam. And then it got to the point where it was like, when I would tell the ladies, like, nah, pardon me. When I would tell the ladies that I don't drink or smoke, the reaction I would get, God, would be like, oh, what? Like, they couldn't believe it. And then they liked you even more. So I'm like, oh, shit. Well, I ain't, And then as time progressed, it was like, I'm 24. I ain't never did it. I'm 34. I ain't never did it. All right, well, it ain't no point of doing it now.
That's a beautiful thing.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no point. And then, like I said, man, I had real responsibilities in the streets. Responsibilities that entail that black van coming if somebody fuck up. You understand?
Absolutely.
This man got a picture of my mama and my kids, and he know what you understand, like real shit. So I ain't got no time to be fucking up. You know what I'm saying?
Takes that one stomach.
Like it ain't, I ain't got no time to be on. Like if you hear the record Trafficking on the Snow Day EP, that's all factual. That's all things that you better have a first-hand knowledge of what you doing when you're running around. So yeah, I was never in a position where I could afford to fuck up, not even a little bit. So, luckily I did what I did. I got out. I never had a drug charge ever in life.
When did you really start expressing yourself through music? Did you notice that was always been a thing for you? Like,
so music always been a thing for me. It started off for me writing poetry though.
Okay.
And then the poetry, naturally progressed into me writing rhymes, because the poetry is rhyming. Then my big brother, he was always listening to rap. So I'm like, I could do that, But when I really started taking it serious, I would say was like after high school. Cause in high school I had a radio show in high school. So I was on the radio doing, like a radio host called Central City Raps. And I wasn't rapping then. But then when I start, really it happened like when I started going when I moved to New York is when I really started taking it real serious, And I'm just looking at guys like $500,000, may he rest in peace. Like Half was one of my favorite artists, and then he used to be upstate too, in Binghamton. So it was like watching $500,000 and seeing and hearing Nas and AZ and brothers that was all and they had knowledge of self. The Wu, the Clan, the Wu, the Jizza, all of them guys, man. It was like, oh nah, I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Not even saying that I heard them and say I could do it, but that made me that put the extra battery on me. That put the jumper cables on my back. Like, oh nah, So then I started just Green Lantern. Shout out to DJ Green Lantern. I was in Rochester. I was making beats at that time, right? So while I'm in the rock and I'm making beats, Green is starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And Green Lantern put me on the first mixtape ever that I was on. Yeah. Green Lantern put me on the first mixtape that I was ever on. And the overwhelming response that I got from that. That put the extra charge on me.
That's it.
It was a record called 4 Walls that I did. And Green had me on there. And, he was real supportive too. At that time, he was real supportive. And it was like, oh, nah, this guy's sharp. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got something. So then when I went back to the Ville, everybody around was like, "Oh, nah, that was you, God? Like, that's you? Nah, that ain't you." And I'm like, "Nah, yeah, because they ain't never heard me rap. They know me for one thing or maybe two things. You know what I'm saying? The fuckery and getting to a bag. You know what I'm saying? Getting to some change. So, and that's what fucked my life up too, God. So that's what's very important too, is that having one foot in and one foot out doesn't work. And I finally realized that, and I said to myself, if I could, because I had started telling myself that the streets and hustling was all I knew, and I'm like, nah, I'm too swift for that. I could do anything I put my mind to. So once I realized that I could, if I took all of my energy that I put into that, like, because if you could make that work at the level that I was making it work, I could run a company. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it was like, nah. And that's how you get Great God, because Great God is only flourishing at this point because it's only rap. All of my might, all of my energy, all of my time is going into my craft. So that's why it's working. But, you know, the streets, back to that, it was like, when you got one foot in and one foot out, it's like, damn, you don't really got time to think about no raps if you really get into some paper. And then either you don't got time to think about no rap, or you trying to chase a bag, so the studio gotta wait. You understand? So
it's never,
you can't, anything that you want, you gotta give it 100%, 110%. It sounds cliche, but that's really what it is, man.
You have to go above and beyond.
You gotta go above and beyond the Call of Duty, and you really can't do that when you run around selling 62s and biggies and all that, and your phone jinking, and you run around, you from this side, and then you're gonna try to somehow sneak in an hour worth of studio
starts
time.
kicking in. You know what I mean? Because you addicted to the money, but you addicted to doing this. So
right, exactly. And it's like my addiction. Like I said, I never drank, I never smoked, but my addiction was the streets. Imagine being, you addicted when you wake up and somebody got some bad work, but you buy it anyway. So that means what? You just addicted to the motions. Because you like, man, well, fuck it, I can make it work, man. This shit ain't really doing what it's supposed to do in this pot, but you know what? I know how to make it work. So if you know how to do that and you know how to move and weave through all of that, you could do whatever. But man, I just had to get, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. My little brother used to always say to me, God, like, you treat your friends better than you treat me. He would be around and he would see, things that he probably shouldn't have been privy to see. You understand? In retrospect. But he would see them and he'd be like, Dad, why you don't put me on? And I'd be like, you'll understand one day. And it wasn't until he was 30 where he's like, yo, God, I appreciate you.
Never exposed me to that.
Right, because that ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
That life comes with certain things that must be done. Certain things is mandatory.
I mean, if you really look at an empire, you know what I mean? A divine empire, a very unique empire does not just goes off and just grabs everybody. You know what I mean? They really build it, you know what I mean? Because they can't make that. Not everybody is built for that.
Nah,
you know what I mean? Not everybody's and I explain this, that not everybody's a fighter, not everybody's a thinker, not everybody's a moneymaker, not everybody can design weapons, you know what I mean? So everybody has a unique purpose in this life that the smart person on the top has to be able to see that within them.
Right. You gotta put your team together very, very carefully. And it's just certain things that, like I said, certain things that you have to do when when you're in that life. And if you can't do them and you can't do them off of impulse, you know what I mean? You're gonna get lost in that game, or you're gonna get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And then the worst thing that you can do is be the guy that they want to take advantage of. There's a lot
of wolves out there in sheep clothing that you got to be careful about.
Yeah, and that's where my sharpness came in, because I've been on both sides. So that makes me know, I know what it looked like. Like when I'm on tour and I was running with rappers, and they not aware, and I'm watching Son across here, I know that you looking. You're not looking because you think, oh, that's such and such from TV. You want this chain, but you don't know that because you never been a wolf. You never hunted. Mm-hmm. So
you got to see that look.
Yeah, you got to know it. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I've been in both shoes. So that always that helped me a lot. that gave me that extra, that keen sense is what kept me alive. And, you know, but the money that you do too, the money that you make and the money that I was making, like what you said earlier, is that the arrogance. I'm running around with rappers and I guarantee got more than a rapper. So why do I want to rap? Fuck, I'm going to the studio for. I tell you A&R what you want to talk for. I already got $250,000 in my sock drawer. Like, fuck, what you gonna give me? What are you going to give me that I can't obtain on my own? So that made me extra like
separated.
Man, I'm pulling up the better cars. Y'all got to sleep on the tour bus. I don't. I'm going in there with son, with the boss, and I'm getting a suite too. You understand what I'm saying? I'm running around with chains and chinchillas on and all of that. Like, see, these guys talk that talk, but your throwback pictures don't reflect what you're saying. If you listen closely to these dudes that's rapping, they'll tell you in one line that they was fucked up and they got it out the mud. Then they'll tell you they had birds. Well, which one was it? I'm lost.
You got to start somewhere.
I mean, you do have to start somewhere.
But you contradicting your words.
Yeah, but yeah, I know what it looked like. I know what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody gonna show their money, you know, the way we do, because, you know, of course, you know, I didn't have no business with no chinchi down to my ankle.
But it looked nice.
You know what I'm saying? I had no business. I had the same one Frank threw in the fire before he threw it in the fire. But, you know, and it's documented. That's why I say I wish these rappers would stop pretending. Don't compare me to these dudes whose story that's not documented, you know? But yeah, man, the rap game and that hustle is this. It just don't go together, man.
Yeah, you got.
At some point, you have to say, "I'm done with that," and you know,
focus your attention.
And really focus on the bigger prize or whatever it is you want to do. Even if it don't have to be rap, but you got to leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you're not gonna meet many people that have the story. My story is unique. Like I said, I don't have no drug charges. I don't, I never had a drug charge, but I thank God for that. You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What would you say your biggest challenge along your life has been?
The biggest challenge, I'll tell you what my biggest challenge has been, right? And it pertains to music. Knowing the right thing, but doing what I gotta do and saying the wrong thing and misleading the people. So for a long time, I would stop rapping because in Islam, rapping really don't go with being Muslim, right? So it's like, you're not even supposed to be listening to this music. It got drums in it. They got this, you understand? So then knowing a person can't be held accountable for what they don't know. But when you know and understand what you know,
you're in violation.
And you don't do with it, and you don't teach the younger ones the right way, now that's punishable by death. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rapping. These people love what I'm saying, but I'm pitching poison wholeheartedly at that time anyway. Like I'm just getting, it's a struggle for me now because I'm very, very intelligent. You understand? Very, very intelligent. I know and understand what I should be saying, but then I say to myself, okay, well, I can't feed a baby steak. I gotta mix the medicine with the food. Before I gotta get to the podium. Once I get to the podium, and then I don't preach, when I got the masses listening, then I'm in violation. But so right now I'm trying to get to the podium. And I'm trying to get there and with giving them the pros and the cons. So that's really that for me is the biggest thing for me in regards to challenges. It's like, damn, how do I give them this knowing I know that ain't what I'm supposed to give them?
That's very deep, man. You got my brain thinking because you gotta you're pitching what you're going at, but you gotta be mindful because you can't.
I mean, you gotta literally be mindful because it's people that's watching. Like my son, for instance. He was privy to conversations he never should have heard. He wasn't supposed to know that I took a 9 out of every bird. You know what I'm saying? before the shit ever hit the curb. Like, he wasn't supposed to know a lot of things that he knew. So he's watching, and he's watching people gloat about his father. He's watching people gloat and say, oh, your dad is this. You know your dad is a legend. You know your dad did this. Your dad did that. Da, 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 da. He's a kid. So those conversations shouldn't have been had in front of him. And I was wrong for that. And that's why I made the record Sins of a Father. And now it's real because now he locked up for, and it's not really my fault. I talk to him every day and told him, listen, I did this because you know, so that you wouldn't have to do the things that you're doing. You bugging. But had he not heard some of those conversations, they not glorified, and the people that he look up to, you know what I'm saying, glorifying my ways and actions when I was a youth, he may have said, that ain't cool. You know? Because I could shoot movies and he can see me doing a lot of positive things, but for him as an impressionable young man at 13, 14 years old, that ain't what's cool. What them boys was talking about over there is cool though. Yeah. That shit they were saying, it was cool. That's what I think is cool. You understand? So, you know, we have to vet. We have to be mindful. I watched it with my own kid. So now I got millions of other kids listening and watching. So when I get to talking about them birds, that's why I'm giving you the, yeah. That's why I'm giving you the story of the fiend talking to the hustler. Like, I did all this and you don't got nothing for me? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I risked my life for you and you don't, like, I don't, nothing.
The story in there is deep.
But it's real.
Absolutely.
It's real.
That's not no ghostwriting, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
You can't do that, you know what I mean? A lot of ghostwriters can sit there and ghostwrite about that, but actually living it and, you know what I mean, meaning what you're saying is a whole different topic.
Right. And I think that's why the people, is being received the way it's received, because they can, you know, it'd be the minute details. It'd be the authenticity that certain, you know when you hear it. You know when you've been in jail. You know who just shooting the shit and who really might have had some 100 pounds. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
I had the helicopter.
Right. You know when it's real. So the authenticity is definitely, is key. And, you know, for me, that's the only way I'm going to do it. So now, like I said, back to that. And me being my authentic self is telling my real story. But I just got to be mindful of how I deliver it. That's all. And that's the most challenging thing for me.
What's the biggest inspiration that you'd like to leave within this journey that you're living?
The biggest inspiration, my biggest inspiration, bro, would be when I leave and I'm done, and I ain't nowhere close to being done. But when I leave and I'm done, I want the young brothers and sisters and you know, everybody in this world to say, yo, he never stopped. Yo, that man never quit. When I take this mask off and the people get to really see what's going on, they're going to say, oh my God. Him? Word? Yeah, he deserved it because he been at it.
You hit that pavement hard.
Don't ever quit. That's what I want them. When they look at me, see, I want them to see the definition of not quitting. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what drives you? You know what I mean? That that's what you want to live?
Yeah. So yeah, just the love for the music drive me. Period. Like, I just love music, and I love articulating the way that I do with my music, because I feel like it's different than what everybody else is doing. But yeah, man, like that definitely drives me. It's like, don't ever quit. Don't never let them tell you it's too late. It ain't never too late. Ever.
Never.
Nah, it's never.
Every time you wake up, you have an opportunity to make a decision.
Absolutely. Indeed. You got another opportunity every day. We got the same 24 hours. We just use them differently.
That's it.
But it's there. Whether you want to use it the right way or you want to use it for the wrong things, but it's there. You got space and opportunity. And if you buckle down and you use it the right way, you get the results. Through all the years that I put out music, I would put out one tape and then I wouldn't put out another one till the next year. I put out a tape, then I might stop for 2 years. And then it wasn't until You know, my brothers, Coach Dean and Big G, is calling me like, yo, you gonna keep letting these people rap your life, son? You better get back to it. You know what I'm saying?
Lit the fire.
Lit the fire back up. Benny, he was instrumental in lighting the fire back up. Because I couldn't wait for rap to come back to a point where lyrics mattered again. And him, Conway, and West, they did that. They did that. They made it to where, we want to hear that. We want to hear darts again. And if you want to hear darts, I got more darts than the like, come on, let's go. Let's play then.
Those gentlemen right there, you know what I mean, they really set the tone for this area here in Buffalo. You know, it's just to show that they're grinding. You don't stop, you know what I mean? And that's why I really, it's admiring. It's admiring, you know?
Yeah, hats off to them for sure, because a lot of people tried it. A lot of people tried to achieve what they achieved before them, you know? And if you don't tilt your hat and salute them, that's hate. Stay away from me. I don't care if I ain't seen Benny in 6 years or 5 years. He was locked up for a lot of times. I ain't seen him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna always give him his salutes, you know?
Absolutely.
They did it. You just gotta stay at it, son. Like, you gotta really just put your best foot forward, and you gotta stay at it. And you gotta. It's all about consistency.
How would you measure your success?
I don't know, man, because I've had success with so many other things that I don't even know how to measure my success musically. I could say that the people, you know, the people really gravitating, and they really love what's going on. You know, they really do, like, wholeheartedly, they love what's going on. But to measure the success, I had success in everything I did, Shaq. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's kind of hard.
yeah.
It's kind of hard to even parallel, you know, with movies, with hustling, with, you know, everything that I touch. You know, it pretty much works in my favor. You know what I'm saying? It just really depends on what I want to dial into at the time.
It's your time. That's what it is.
Yeah, and exactly. You know,
it's your time, man.
Yeah, it's, you know, when God says it's your time, man. I would have definitely not. I'm glad that I got it now, and I'm receiving the accolades that I'm receiving now, because I definitely, like I said,
Would you been ready for it then?
I would have been.
You would have transformed.
I would have been ready, but I would have misappropriated the funds. Because as soon as I got 250, I'm going uptown. I'm going to my Oye. I'm going to get me some joints. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's just what I would do. And right now it's like, you know, I might think about it, but I'm not gonna put it into motion. Nah. But, you know, just that, like I said, you know, going back to being addicted, that's one thing that you don't, that's why I wouldn't wish it on nobody, because I don't care what I'm into. When I get a lump sum, the first thing I think of is like, damn, so
double up.
I could take that 50, turn that to 100 clip. Then, you know,
there ain't no looking back after that.
You're right. And then, you know, like, you know what I really know and understand, son, that I really learned with that hustle shit is that everything that I got from illicit money, right? Money that I wasn't supposed to have, whether I took it, whether I, you know, whether I hustled to get it, everything always break.
Disappeared.
Yo, God, everything always go wrong. That's why when I started filming, I named my film company Finally Focus Films. Yo, bro, I done had all type of cameras. I'm gonna leave a lens. The camera gonna fall off the car. You understand? It's gonna always be some fuckery with that shit. So I had to destroy and rebuild, which I learned from the lessons. I gotta destroy and rebuild and get my shit the right way. And guess what? I still lose a few things here and there, but it ain't like not, you know,
what it used to be.
It ain't what like it used to be, where everything that could go wrong is gonna go wrong.
You got a lot of principles in your life that you know what I mean, is that your religion that you like, you try to really inquire both of them into your living?
Yeah. Yeah. I try to, you know, I strive for perfection, but
Nobody's perfect, bro.
Nobody perfect. We got
But that's a challenge to do that, just to even be mindful of that.
Right.
A lot of people just, it is what it is. This is where it's going now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Nah, for real. Yeah.
They just abandon ship on it anyways.
Nah, no doubt. And like I said, trust me, I done lost sight plenty of times throughout the years to where I just be in werewolf mode too. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say it's wolf season.
Yeah.
That's my tag. It's wolf season. And I don't want to be back in wolf season right now because everything is beautiful. Shout out Rock MARCI, man.
Okay.
Shout the God out, man.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I said the plug gave me dope and Rock gave me hope. You know what I'm saying? The plug gave me dope. Rock gave me hope. You know what I'm saying?
Break it down.
I don't love them the same, but I fuck with them both. So, Rock MARCI did something that nobody does in his position. But I've seen him do it for a lot of people. And he just happened to do it for Great God. He said, yo, I recognize something in that guy, and I'm not afraid to tell the world what I recognize. Put me on his story, flying me out to shows, you know what I'm saying? Saying, come on, God. Oh, I'm going to be here. Me and Alchemist got a show here. Come on. Bringing me on stage. Yo, this introducing me to everybody. This great God. The God crazy. You better listen to son. You got to hear son. People don't do that. Now, when they're at the top, now when you're on your way down and you wheezing and you need CPR, now you might want to start throwing alley-oops when it's too late. But those is disingenuous. Those are disingenuous actions of alley-oops. That ain't real.
Just reaching for roots that ain't even there.
Right. Now you want to look out because you can't breathe. But when a man is at his pinnacle and he say, look at him, that means something. Rock MARCI did that. Benny did that. You know what I'm saying? Spesh brought me out. Stove God brought me out.
That's beautiful. That's real humbling, man.
Yeah, so people don't do that, man. So salute all of them.
That's a genuine person, though. You know what I mean? Because it's not like me. No.
Right. Aguilar called me like, yo, God, what we doing? I hear you. I see you. Aguilar is a legend. And he from Brownsville. So
a lot of collaborations with a lot of people.
Aguilar is a legend. So when I'm sitting in Ag crib and he like, yo, if you tired, God, get on the couch, God. I'm a grown man. I could go to the W. I could go to the Ritz-Carlton if I feel like. I could go anywhere I want. I could sleep wherever. But when somebody offer you that, bro, and they let you into their home, it means something. It means more than music. You know?
It's family.
It's family. La Familia. Real shit. So those are the dudes I give my salutes to. You know, dudes like that, like Tech, like my man Tech from Smith & Wesson. When it wasn't nobody looking for Great God, he was there. Like, yo, God, come on, I got you. You need a verse? Let's get busy. You know? So
The real recognize it, though.
yeah, man.
And there ain't too many out there nowadays.
Nah, it's so far in between, man.
There's
I'm watching
not too
dudes
many.
that I know right now that I'm like, damn, I would have expected if he had an album, I would have alley-ooped him.
Yeah.
I'd have threw him in my story with no problem because it don't cost us nothing to say, yo, check the God out. You see, I just put out a record today with my man from London, right? Rock Noir, he from London. He hit me, asked me how much the feature was. I told him, I heard the beat, I did it for free. Now his single cover is my profile cover. And his single that dropped today that I'm featured on is the only thing in my story. I done did features with cats that they never put me in their story. And we paid for those features. My man Joey Majors done paid cats for features, and they ain't never even talked about it never alley-ooped it, never put it in their story, never did nothing. But guess what? I done had it all, God, and I'm got to get it again. So for me, the alley-oop is nothing. It cost me nothing. And if I really want for me what I want for my brother, then that's what make me. That's why I'm Great God. Because I truly want for you what I would want for myself.
Not that fake.
That's called dealing with equality. You understand? So, of course, why would I not tell the world you dope? Rock MARCI told the world I was dope. He ain't charged me a nickel to do that. when he was on the Rolling Stone cover, he ain't got to be talking about Great God or his story while he on Rolling Stone.
No, because you're making those waves that are noticed.
Right. But even if they notice it, they still will act like they'll ride past you in the yacht and knock your ski-doo over.
Listen, you and I both know you can hide from it, but when you got the touches like that,
yeah,
it's just that's just gonna happen.
Nah, I appreciate you, bro.
That's just gonna pop, Brody.
Yeah,
I mean, you got a lot of big things going on. You know, what I mean, you just was just on another cast. You know, I'm speaking about a lot of things. You know, I want to take a dive into this right here.
Snow Day EP.
Yo, this you guys better tune in.
Nah, that's a different EP, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, this one's different?
No, I'm just saying.
Yo, which one is your favorite?
That EP is different.
What's your favorite one on this one?
Oh, man.
I mean, they're all fire.
So, I appreciate that. So, every other day, my favorite changed. But I would say, artistically, my favorite record on there is Thanks for Nothing. And that's the record that's the Fiend talking to the hustler. It's my favorite record because nobody in history did that. We done heard a million hustle stories, but ain't nobody ever told the story of this is how I feel. I'm gonna put myself in the shoes of the addict and I'm gonna talk to the hustler. So creatively, that's my favorite record on there. The one I like to jam to the most, like the one that I might listen to in the car, depending on what car I'm in. But the one I like to listen to in the car is probably The Third Coming. That's one of my favorite joints is The Third Coming. My man Inkwell did that. And then probably Circa. Circa. Like this week's Circa is my favorite. My brother Alcatraz, my god brother Dow, he did that. That's my favorite. Next week, Bag Lady might be my favorite. That's Aguilar.
Rotation.
Yeah, and that record is about let's pay homage to the women. They kept the kids upstairs when you was bagging up. So surprise, they're picking the G-Wagon up. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many times the woman done held us down and you be in prison, the woman holds you down and you come home and now you want to fuck everything moving. You would fuck a wolf if you had the chance.
Just hold the tail.
Like, damn. Like, but that's how, so we got to, now let's talk about it, pay homage to the ones that was busting the Dougie, that was coming to visit, that was bringing you the bag, throwing the bag down your back when she hugged you. You know what I'm saying? Making sure, you coming on the VI with your shit tucked in, because you know she gonna hug you and drop the bag down your back, so you can go in the bathroom and let's talk about her. Let's give her some respect. Let's put some respect on her name. So that's what Bag Lady is about. So, but every day, it just always, it just varies, man. I feel like they're all strong records, and it really depends on my mood, because sometimes I'll be in a real conscious mood and then I don't listen to no rap. You understand? And sometimes I get in my mood where I want to listen to hustle rap, and it's just different, different days. So.
Where did the design come from this? I mean, this is very unique marketing right here. This is marketing at its best. I don't care what nobody says, yo. This is marketing at its best, bro.
So thank you, brother.
Yo,
that
shit's creative.
That right there is just, I just seen enough.
That shit's nice.
So if I'm a hustler and that's what I saw so many, you know what I mean? It's like, wow,
that shit's genius.
Why wouldn't you have to cut the brick open and the thumb drive be inside of it?
Yo. Oh my goodness.
Like, why not? And then, the refrigerator magnet, where else would GREA8GAWD be but in the kitchen?
Whipping it up, yo.
You understand me?
Yo, your networking is different, man. You really got a unique brain.
I appreciate it, man.
Very articulate, you know what I mean? You can...
Yeah. So, on March 12th, Rock MARCI is hosting my official album release party for that. We having the real listening session.
What day is that?
March 12th in Brooklyn. We performing on the 11th, and then the next day we having the GREA8GAWD listening party for the Snow Day EP. You can go on GREA8GAWD.com. So to get in, you got to either buy. I only sold birds. Those bricks is $100.
Okay.
I sold 73 of them already at $100 a piece. On my site to get into the listening party, which is going to be like a buy. Sombreros. It's going to be Little Mexico. ARs, prop joints, of course. Safe house with all the merch in it. But to get in the safe house, you got to go on GREA8GAWD.com. You got to either buy a 4.5, a 9, a half a joint, or a bird. That lets you know what level of merch you could get when you come to the joint. So you go in there and
make sure you tune into this.
You get what you feel me? Whatever you can afford. If you want to buy a 4.5,
so it's like a tier system though.
It's tier.
I'll simulate it. Yeah.
Yeah, you decide what level you want to be at. But that right there though is
know your limits, spend within it.
That right there is for all the cats that I'm sick of hearing all these brick stories, man. That's for y'all. Now y'all can say y'all had a bird. You hear me? Like y'all out there in TV land. Now you can actually say you had a brick.
The one and only.
Word.
Yo, that's crazy, bro. I'm holding a magnet because of the kitchen. A brick. Oh my god. All right, back to your story though. You just mind boggled me there. That's unique. You don't really see that. You know what I mean? People simulating their merch with their life like that.
Right. With the past life.
So like I said, you got a lot of big things happening right now, right?
Right. So right now, I just got a deal. Rock MARCI. I'm officially part of Pimpire, the label. You know what I'm saying? Rock MARCI, Knowledge the Pirate. GREA8GAWD is over there now. Alchemist. Jazz. It's official.
That's just the beginning. I mean, you've been going hard for so long.
It's just the beginning. It's literally just the beginning. It's a blessing. Like I said, I appreciate all of those brothers that I just named for even recognizing the skill set and then being humble enough to say, we don't mind, we don't mind putting him in the forefront and carrying the flag, So that's a beautiful thing. I'm about to go to LA. Me and Rock we and Rock on the phone every day, strategizing, talking. I'm sending him records every day. You know what I'm saying? He working on a project right now that I'm gonna be on. And I'm gonna go out there and we're gonna do the EP. And then that's gonna be produced by Rock MARCI, the whole joint. Then we're gonna do a God Brothers EP where it's me and him going back and forth on these records. A full Rock MARCI GREA8GAWD project. So, be on the lookout for that, man.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm going to drop Still Snowing because it's still cold out here.
Non-stop.
It's still cold out here, baby. It's still snowing. And hopefully I could get M80 to drop me one of them crazy joints he got.
Shout out.
See, this is what they don't know. Let me tell you something what they don't know. DJ M80 is a person that should have a flower bed. But it's not enough humble people. It's not enough people that's willing to say, now that God put this together, he did this, he did that, he did that. So let me say, he got seeds in the ground, man. It don't take nothing to put no water on them, man, so they could grow. You know what I'm saying? But people don't want to do that. But he was instrumental in, I got beats from him. When I know he was charging for beats. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't get no invoice. Those are the things that you got to remember along your travels. So he definitely gonna have a beat on the up and coming project too.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a very humble individual right there. Yeah. I seen that man right there. Just in the past little bit I known him. He opens the door generously.
He gonna open the door. He gonna
hold it for you and everything.
He gonna open the door. He gonna hold it. See, let me tell you one story. Let me share one story for you, right? Me and Prodigy, may he rest in peace, was on stage, right? One time. Now, mind you, at this time, I was done with the rap because it had got too silly, right? So I'm full cameraman at this point, right? Prodigy is on stage. My man, I brought the film commissioner to meet him because he was a big fan of Mobb Deep, right? So it was me, Prodigy, Havoc, Tech and Steel, Smith & Wesson. True story. Somebody in the venue kept saying, yo, cameraman. So yo, my man ain't no fucking cameraman, son. You don't know who that is? Know what I told him? Nah, it's all good, God. I am the cameraman. It's all good. I'm the cameraman. And if you need me to sweep the stage when y'all get done, I'll do that too. Because I know who I am. You understand? But just make sure that the people that's supposed to get them, man. I know. I got my list. I know who was there.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But being humble, man. Imagine if a lot of these rappers that's our favorite rappers was more humble. Imagine where they would be if they wasn't arrogant. Yeah, P, you right. I'm more than the cameraman, but it's all good, God. I'll sweep this fucking stage when y'all get done. Cause that's what my heart is. I know who I am.
Absolutely.
A lot of these cats don't know who they are. They only living in a facade. They only living as who they are in rap. So when you get to live in who you think you are in rap, it's easy to get mixed up, God. It's easy to get caught in the dunya. It's easy to get caught in that. The brain fog is extra thick then. Because now you got somebody opening your door. You got somebody asking you, do you want to shit? Can I roll your blunt? Can I carry your bags? I ain't never been a baggage handler. I ain't worked at the airport. You understand? But for P or whoever, I can. Ain't about nothing, my man. Ain't about nothing. But just, that I just say that my success is attributed to being humble. And that's why I deal with people that's humble.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
What are some of your 5-year tenures that you'd like to verbalize that you're going to, when you look back at this, like 5 years, 10 years, that came in 2, that came in 5, way before.
So my 5 year is really building Finally Focused Films, this film company. That could be the 10 year. The 5 year is the building the new bad boy, the new company with the newest spitters, building God Squad Records. The 10 year would be putting these films out, because obviously the way I write, if I wasn't shooting my own videos and I give the record, they say, yo, send me the record that you want to do the video for. The treatment is the record. Vivid, so, that's why I want to put these movies out, because, the pen is vivid, I'm Great God, AKA Benjamin Franklin.
That shit's unique. That's unique. Yo, you got more tricks up your sleeve than oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. So when you can articulate and you can write the way that I write, obviously to put it on film is the ultimate goal, so that they can see the vision. But that's why my videos look different than everybody else's. I stood in front of the corner store for half of my whole adult life. I'm not going back there as an adult doing no video. So you see my videos. My video gonna look like a movie. Yeah, my video gonna look like a movie. So yeah, man, movies, the label, and really just my thing is uplifting the underdog.
Okay.
Because I'm the underdog.
Shining that light where it's dark, right?
Yeah, I'm truly the underdog. I promise you. They didn't want me to win.
When's that release?
They didn't want me to win, God.
But yo, listen, when it's inevitable, your grind, what you put yourself through on a daily basis, your discipline, your focus, your networking abilities, it stands and speaks for itself. Mm-hmm. It's you're going somewhere no matter what, 15, 20 years, it don't matter. You here right now, that was everything in life happens for a reason. We may never know why.
Right.
But then we may find out why.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's only gonna happen on God's time, man. It don't matter how much, you just gotta be prepared for when it do come. And I am for sure prepared. 5 records a day, 6, 7 hard drives full of music.
It's funny how we can recognize, I remember go back a little bit. You said you would misappropriate your funds if you got it back then. Mm-hmm. And I don't think a lot of us realize that when we have nothing and then we come into something, that a lot of people get clouded by that. And that's a very keen topic I want to touch on, because success does not, it's going to come.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's what we do with the success, because a lot of us get sidetracked. I've got sidetracked along my life,
Right.
but I still remain to the roots. It's funny because I can sit there and still pick up a mop and scrub my own floor and mop it in front of the workers. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And they'll be like, "What are you doing? Just have us do it."
Right.
No, because listen, when I'm not here and I ask you to do it, I don't expect you to say, "Oh, well, no," because I'm doing it. You know, I'll go scrub the toilet. You know what I mean? I'll you know what I mean? I have no problem doing that stuff because when I ask you to do it, you know what I mean? It's out of respect because I'll still do it.
Right.
I have no problem doing that.
Right.
But the level of success, sometimes people get boggled by that and those, you know, all carry your bag. And, you know,
But you know what? That energy that you have is magnetic because I mean, you know, I had to drive a long way to get to this interview, right?
Yeah.
But I know aura. I feel energy. I know now I'm going to do that because of the energy that from the times that we met previous, the things that we talked about on the DM. I know what it is. I know it's genuine. You know what I'm saying? So I salute you for that. Everybody don't have that, man. Everybody is not even magnetic, you know? Everybody don't have that. Everybody's aura ain't right.
My biggest drive is my people, you know. They need it, you know. I come from the Native American family, you know.
Right.
And we've been mistreated and we misappropriated our whole lives, and nobody stand up and say nothing.
Right.
I want to show that success can happen, and we don't have to go and get justice, you know what I mean, for those 15,000 little kids' bodies that they found under residential schools. What we can enlighten and say, yo, listen, we come to terms. We're on this earth here right now to work with each other hand in hand, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's it. We can't keep clouding and making pollution. We can't keep, you know what I mean, clouding these kids' brains and you know what I mean, misleading them through the internet.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a big target right now of information and how we can go about it.
Right.
And me, I'm trying to attach myself and network with people that have that voice, that have the understanding, that have the ability to speak up, and you know what I mean, because it's coming to that time to where the foolishness is everywhere.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
Now you're gonna continue to like you know, we attract certain people just because of who we are. You know, a person that's not like us is not even comfortable in the room right now because you know they dealing with arrogance and they dealing with something that we don't deal with. So yeah, man, you know who you know you attracting what's you get you, and like they say, you get back what you give out, and that's true, man. Like you give out good energy or great energy and great aura, and you build your bridges the right way, you be all right. Soon as the foolishness come, the bullshit, like I said, I done been on both sides now.
Your vision got to
So
be open.
it was times where I loved the foolishness. My favorite word was, I wish he would. I was begging for death. I wish he might. I wish. Every day I would say that. Running around with the guard with the hammer on me. I wish he, that would be my everyday eyebrows. I wish he might. And you know what? Guess what? You get that energy back. Guess what I'm getting
Wholeheartedly,
now?
it's coming back. Yeah.
Guess what I'm getting now, though?
Love.
Because that's all I'm giving now. I ain't got nothing else to give but that. All I got to give is understanding and show y'all what I've been through and show y'all like, nah, that ain't it. You don't want to do that. I'm telling you, I've been there. I did it, you know? So, yeah, man.
Well, it's coming to that point of this episode where we're going to like to wrap things up here.
Right.
Before we leave, we like to ask our guests, what is one thing you can share with our viewers that you can possibly change, whether it's adult to parenting or anything, what on a positive note to uplift our viewers? What can you share with them?
To uplift them?
Knowledge drop, a jewel, a gem.
I would say one of the biggest, one of my favorite jewels is in my treasure chest is not expecting somebody to do for you. You know what I mean? To do what you would do for them. Don't expect them to do it for you.
So accept it.
Huh? Nah. Don't expect them to do for you what you would do for them, because you will always be disappointed. Go out and get it yourself. It's there. It's space. It's opportunity. It's the internet. You can do literally anything that you want to do, any question that you have is on the internet. Young guys, if for the young men, I would like to say, man, embrace your OGs. That's the most important thing, God. Embrace the OGs. Stop thinking that you don't want to, that we don't know what we know, because we've been here for a reason. We still here for a reason.
We went through that.
And we went through it. Embrace the older people that's trying to talk to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Young guys. That's what because listen, we can't, in the 5% Nation, we say teach the babies. You teach the babies because the babies are going to go to school and they're going to teach other kids. The other kids are going to teach somebody older than them, and then it'll get to the adult. Trying to change an adult, we already know. We don't know how women that it's like, man, I done told her over and over and over and over and over, I can't change you. I can't change you. But teach the babies. So, man, get you an old head, man. Be proud to have somebody older than you that's telling you something. You know? That would be my jewel.
Appreciate that. What are all the platforms that people can find you, your pages?
Everything, Twitter, Instagram, OnlyFans. Everything is GREA8GAWD. GREA8GAWD. You know, shout out to the whole team, man. Everybody that helped make that a success. Shout out my man Moto, Shane, man. Yo, what's so crazy is that cover. That cover right there. Shout out to Travis Chapman, too. He did that cover artwork. That cover was getting ready to be something else. My guy Shane Moto, he sent me that cover the night before I was about to put my project up, and I had to stop the press. Promise you. Yep, he did that. Thanks, Shane. Shout out PR Dean. Shout out all the guys, man. All of the family, man.
And that your release date is what?
So the album is out. You can go find that on Spotify, everywhere, iTunes. But the release, the listening party for Snow Day EP is March 12th, Brooklyn, New York. I'm gonna let y'all know the address. You know, that's you gotta.
You have to buy the product right before.
You gotta buy at least a 4.5.
At least. At least.
You know what I'm saying? If you buy a split, you might get a shirt and a bandana. Who knows? But yeah, you gotta go to GREA8GAWD.com and sign up. You know, it's gonna be a secret location. I don't want to. You know.
Make sure you follow this man right here. This man is on a mission and he's not stopping. So make sure you tap in and tune in with the God.
Yeah, the emergency brake broke a long time ago. I don't know.
You heard that. Pedal to the metal.
Flying.
Red light never, green light always.
I appreciate you for having me, God. Thank you, bro. No doubt.
Mr. Walking Brick, Mr. 36 O's, Ruger, Taj, yeah, got plugs supplying me with coke to last me for a lifetime. So crack the pregnant women, I wasn't in my right mind. But the watch so bussy, I can't even tell the right time. Bought a bunch of silences, I don't know if they for the right nine. Flow is so retarded. Got the FBI going through my garbage. Call me Moses, treat your block like the Red Sea and now I party. Leave these niggas dilly departed. Don't get me started. All these little niggas out of father. Tell a daddy I'm too fucking rich to be bothered. Taj was upstate, I was in New London. And one day the block did 22 onions. It's a fact. Damn, I said 22 onions. Yeah, nigga, I used to do my numbers. Rikers Island 4 building, cut niggas with my gym stars. Trap house, all my grams, cut it with my gym stars. Fuck this rap shit, we been stars. 4 pounds, 5 shooters, 10 cars. I drop a bag on his head, 10 large. But 5 Percocets could really get him picked off.
Allah, please help me forgive. Help me keep my hands off the sin. I don't wanna shoot nobody else. I feel alone, I'm all by myself. The thoughts I'm having bad for my health. Save me to help save myself. I don't wanna shoot nobody else. I feel alone, I'm all by myself. The last nigga you left. So all you rappers is rapping about death. Who the last nigga you stretch? Who the last nigga you clean? When we get a nigga going, we yell cheers and glasses getting clink. We slide like Wayne Gretzky used to do in the rink. Ask Raul, the last one I did was in a mink. Did I feel bad? Fuck nah. Fuck I'm supposed to cry for. There's certain things that niggas do they gotta die for. And this nigga did one of those. Face shot, no bow tie. Cremate him cause his casket nigga wanna close. Let his mother have an open casket and put that jury on him. I'ma have a nigga come and fucking snatch it. My young boy got a tux with a switch to match it. I told him I'd give him a nickel if he flipped the casket. It's kinda harsh, God, fuck that nigga. I got a stack for whoever view him and cut that nigga. God, Allah, please help me forgive. Help me keep my hands off the sin. I don't wanna shoot nobody else. I feel alone, I'm all by myself. The thoughts I'm having bad for my health. Save me to help save myself. I don't wanna shoot nobody else. I feel alone, I'm all by myself.
Shout out to my nigga Taj. We finally focused, baby.